Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jess from BehatiLife. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are talking about common mistakes that a lot of tarot readers from beginner to even advanced make. This is not pointing fingers or saying this person sucks at reading tarot or this person is awesome at reading tarot. It's just a full conversation, dialogue that we're having about things that I have seen and that I've noticed that I would like to talk about here on the YouTube channel, because this is a platform and a space for us to share education and knowledge for everyone to benefit from. So the first thing that I see a lot is the way that people phrase questions and the way that people answer them. So this is beginner readers, this is intermediate and advanced. It's when you're reading for yourself and for others. And the problem with how you phrase the question is sometimes when you're shuffling the cards, you have a million questions in your head, or maybe you have one specific question in your head. You shuffle the cards, the tarot shows, certain cards, and, to answer that question. And in your mind, you don't understand it initially, so your brain tracks it and places it to how you can answer the question. So sometimes when you're shuffling the cards, the answer itself, even though you may understand and deeply grasp the message and meaning behind that card or that card combination together, sometimes it doesn't make sense when you're asking the question. Sometimes the answer that the cards have when they're trying to show you or reveal something to you is not something that is apparent to you right now or doesn't make sense to you initially. It's something that reveals itself within a week or over time. And this is kind of creates pressure for the reader, whether you're reading for yourself or whether you're reading for others, because you ultimately want to have an answer to the question that is being asked. But sometimes you just have to leave the book wide open. And what I see, a common mistake that I see for a lot of readers, number one, is that they kind of force this answer of what the cards are saying, and they're not getting confirmation intuitively or from their angels or their guides or even from the tarot cards confirming that that answer truly is accurate and the case. So especially when it comes to beginner to intermediate tarot readers, I'm seeing this a lot on Instagram with not daily polls, but people who are reading or talking about certain situations that they are, sharing with the Instagram community. It almost seems like they're forcing the answer, or they're telling people what they need to do and coming up to a general conclusion. And that's another mistake that I see happening all the time that I just wish that people would stop making across the board, is forcing a solution to, or an outcome, an answer to a question that someone asks. So let's say someone's asking about a love relationship or about career, and the person, whether it be you, whether you're shuffling for yourself or whether you're shuffling for others, they start to shuffle those cards, and the cards reveal a set of cards that maybe are a little negative or are suggesting something. So as a reader, you want to be careful with this. Number one, because you should not be telling anybody what they should do. That's point blank, period. Do not tell anybody what they should do. The person, wow, Moochie, you're going to make my followers and YouTube subscribers think that this place is haunted. This is a door right here, and Moochie knows how to open it. I do that so that he has freedom to move and come and go as he pleases. That was a little distracting. So as a tarot reader, it is not your job to tell people what to do. And this is something that we learned as a psychology major and any type of counseling when you're doing, when you're letting people know what they should do and what actions they should take in their lives. As a tarot reader, you do not, outside of the fact that legally you're going to be responsible for the decisions, you then make yourself responsible for what that person does. Ultimately, you have to understand that you yourself are a human being, and you are working with cards and you're working with your intuition, but there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of energy that even in this moment you are not aware of. So you can't ultimately tell someone what they should or shouldn't do, or what choice or decision that they should make. The decision should always be on the person who needs to make the decision. So that 9 times out of 10, that's the person who is getting their cards read. So what you do is your responsibility as a reader is to look at the cards, shuffle the cards, pull the cards, lay them out, and help to interpret the message. Now, for everyone, every tarot reader is totally different. We all have a different set of gifts. And that's what makes each reading experience totally unique and different. So some people have intuitive hunches and messages. Some people channel, messages from spirit. Some people can connect to the ones who have passed on. I always stay open, and I like to work with angels and guides simply because their energy is so easy to work with, and I just allow intuitive messages to come in and flow through me. And sometimes it comes in a random word, sometimes it comes in through a vision, but I don't force it. I just allow it to be. I don't force the angels and guides to give me messages if they don't want to. I just reveal the message, whatever that message is, and I leave it up to my reader to ultimately make the decision. So number one, this keeps me out of the potential of getting in trouble later on. Let's say someone, makes a decision and they want to use it against me later on and be like, well, Jess told me to do this. You're never going to hear me tell my who I'm reading for exactly what to do, but I will tell you the truth of what I see right now for you energetically in this moment, and I will deliver a message over to you honestly, clearly, to help you ultimately make the best decision for yourself. Now, let's say you're in a relationship. This happens all the time, where someone is, someone is cheating, or there's a lot of stuff going on that could be negative within the relationship. As a tarot reader, I can see that the potential of that person in that moment, there's a lot of cheatation. That's what I'm going to call it. There's a lot of negativity, or maybe they're not giving the person their whole heart. Maybe there's outside influences going on, drugs, whatever the case may be. I can see that, but ultimately who I'm reading for, I'm not going to tell them you need to leave him, he's a scumbag. I leave it to you to decide, what is it that I choose, what is it that I value, what is it that is here for me. And if you feel called to stay in the relationship with that person, then that's your decision. I laid all the cards out on the table. I gave you every single message that came to me. It's for you to make the decision with, and ultimately it's for you to decide and for you to live with that decision. And I'm going to support you 115,000% in that decision, because it's your life to live. And that's not me to say look, girl, I told you what you should do, and she's going to either follow me and follow my advice and listen to what it is that I'm saying, or she's going to completely fuck her whole I'm sorry, pardon my French. She's going to completely mess her whole life up, and it's not for me to care, and it's not my problem. That's not how I approach it. I do know that people have their own, when you're working with a tarot reader, both people, their intuition is being activated, and it grows and it grows and it grows. We vibe off of each other. So your intuition will trigger you to be and your own inner knowledge, your own inner high priestess, your own inner knowingness signals you to say, look, it's for you to stick in with this within this relationship or with this situation. It does look negative, but something is telling you that it can turn around. And for you to respect that, I respect you for staying with that decision. No matter what it looks like to other people, it's my job as a tarot reader to deliver a message over to you and to show you the potential and to show you what's around you. The other thing too is that energy is always changing. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come to me, and I keep on talking about love relationships, because everyone, that's the question I get all the time outside of career and spiritual development, and I feel like I'm stuck. Those things I get a lot too, but relationships and just anything in general, energy is always changing. You would be surprised how I can know by looking at cards and working with my intuition that if you set the intention shortly after, the energy completely changes. Now, as a tarot reader, you have to understand that that person that you're reading for has all the power in the world to change their circumstance. So in that moment when you're reading the cards, yes, the cards are showing that the situation may be stagnant, or maybe dying, or coming to a completion, or whatever the case may be, but you have no idea what's ahead unless you have actually received an intuitive message that was clearly, translated and told to you to tell your reader that, this is a situation, or you need to get out, or whatever the case may be. So, and even that, it's you just, say the message, but also know that there's a little bit of a risk, because you are then responsible for what happens to that person. Well, not fully responsible, because ultimately they make the decision, but you want to allow them to you want to empower them to make their own decisions, because ultimately what the tarot does is it helps to trigger feelings, and it helps to trigger that intuitive knowingness that helps us along our way. Tarot is only a tool. It's not the end all be all, and that's how it should be used. Ultimately, you are the biggest power player of your entire life, so you ultimately make the biggest decisions. Ultimately, the power is in your hands. So you can totally change and shift a situation to max what it is that you want, and that's how you should use the tarot. If you see that a situation is dying out or stagnant, there are certain things that you can do in order to infuse life back into that situation and bring it back to life. Or sometimes it's best for you to walk away. And that's what I'll see too, is that if I see a circumstance with someone that I'm reading for, and I'm like, look, this situation is dead, like even as I'm trying to put a finger on the pulse of what it is that you're asking about, I can't see anything coming from this. But what I do see is that if you did decide to take a step back, there is this here for you. And the tarot will show that. But I don't tell someone, end out of this relationship or end out of the situation and go to this. I just say, look, this is here for you if you decided to leave. And that person will be like, you know what? If I know that there is something else out there for me, then it's okay and safe for me to take that step forward. And some people need that push, and that is 100% okay. Sometimes that's all you need in order to have faith in yourself and in the universe. In order to take that push is knowing that there is something else out there for you. There's nothing wrong with that. So I ultimately, again, I'm using this as an example to let you know that you as a tarot reader should never tell anyone what they should do, and you should never at any point in your life, whether you're reading for yourself, for others, or if you're not even reading at all, don't judge people. Don't judge people and don't tell them what to do. Just say, look, you know what, this is what I see for you, this is what I feel like it is, and this is what I think that you deserve, and this is what's here. And that's your goal, that's your job, that's your responsibility. It's not for you to tell someone what they need to do with their lives, because ultimately it's for them to decide, okay? If in fact you do get a tarot reader that you trust, that is, you find them really telling you what to do, take their message for what it is. Just let them know, like, if they are showing that there is, something that you don't like or something that you do like, take it for what it is. It's just showing you the energy of what's around you right now. And that's the other thing too, you want to be really mindful about who it is that you're going to get your cards read, because everyone has different energy, and you'll know when you meet them, when you talk to them, when you see them, you'll know their energy. You know if it resonates with you or if it doesn't. And if it doesn't, and if it makes you feel bad, then take a few steps back, respect their process, respect their practice, and follow your vibes, and follow ultimately what it is that what you want and need to do for yourself. Because again, like, no matter how intuitive someone is, like, the answers always reveal themselves in time, but ultimately it's your life to build. So if you do get someone who is giving you advice or trying to push their opinion on you or push what they want you to do, just respectfully, create space and distance between you and them, and take the message for what it is, a little grain of salt. All right, I love you guys so much. I hope you're having an amazing day. It's raining here in Philadelphia. I'm living for it. I love the rain. I love it when it's gloomy. I have candles lit. I have flowers. Most of the plants are outside just totally drinking in the rain. I would be out there too, but I got work to do. But I love you guys, and make sure that you're subscribed. Hit those thumbs up buttons, because they really, and leave comments if you have questions or anything like that. Let me know your experiences when it comes to tarot readers telling you about yourself, or maybe your own experiences with asking questions and receiving answers. And don't feel bad if you for your level of gifts too. Like, not everyone has the same gifts. Some people are more gifted than others, but that doesn't make them better than others. It just means that that's their gift. And it is what it is. All right? Respect it and work with it and flow with it. I love you. Make sure you subscribe, because there's plenty more videos where this came from. We'll talk soon. Bye.